se fue, mira cómo se fue, mira cómo se fue.
Warns the U.S. will cost a hydrogen bomb. Kim is continuing his war of words with U.S. President Donald Trump. Toronto slugger Jose Bautista begins the final homestand of the season. If he doesn't re-sign, Sunday could be his last game in Toronto. Humber News starts now.
Hi, I'm Keisha Watson coming to you from our newsroom at Humber's North Campus. It's September 22nd. Thanks for joining us. Here's what's making news this hour. A 4-year-old boy has died after being left in a hot car yesterday afternoon. He was in the care of a 50-year-old woman. The boy was found in the car outside of an Etobicoke apartment building. He was brought to hospital in critical condition and later died. A memorial has started outside of the building where the boy lived. The babysitter who left the 4-year-old in the hot car appeared in downtown courtroom this morning. She's been charged with criminal negligence causing death. A post-mortem on the boy is scheduled for today. We'll have more details on this story at humbernews.ca. Hurricane Maria shows no signs of stopping its path of destruction in the Caribbean. It hammered Puerto Rico a few days ago. The Category 3 storm has now set its sights on the Dominican Republic. At least 14 people there were killed by the hurricane, and more than 30 overall across the Caribbean have died since its start a little under a week ago. Maria did not discriminate between the islands and showed no mercy. It brought hammering winds of up to 200 kilometers an hour. That was followed by heavy rainfall, which left many places in rubble. Hurricane Maria is currently on track to threaten the Turks and Caicos Islands, with nearly 40,000 people living there. North Korea may have plans to launch a powerful nuclear weapon over the Pacific Ocean.
But if it is forced to defend itself or its allies, we will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea.
The relationship between the United States and North Korea has been getting worse lately, especially after U.S. President Donald Trump's speech at the United Nations this week, where he threatened to, quote, destroy North Korea. The country responded with similar threats. North Korea's foreign minister says they could test launch a hydrogen bomb in the Pacific Ocean. Experts assume the blast radius could span over 4,500 kilometers. It will be North Korea's 7th nuclear test this year alone. Rescue operations continue on the 4th day after a deadly and massive earthquake hit Mexico on Tuesday afternoon. Rescuers are still hopeful they'll find more survivors in the days to come. People are still being pulled out in rubble of Mexico City. A lot of others in shelters are waiting to be informed about their family and friends and if they can return home. The official death toll now stands at least 286. The earthquake had a magnitude of 7.1. Iran now has access to a ballistic missile. It has a range of 2,000 kilometers. At a Defense Week parade today, an Iranian military admiral made the announcement. The missile can carry several warheads. Iran's president says his country will not stop building its military forces. Iran, along with Turkey and Iraq, are planning countermeasures against Kurdish independence. The three nations claim that Kurdish independence could destabilize the region. There was a deadly fight between India and Pakistan today. 6 civilians were killed and 26 injured. Hospitalized civilians suffer from a familiar fight. Two nations with nuclear capabilities are at odds. Firing took place at the border. Pakistan was attacked from India's Kashmir region. Most of the casualties were Pakistani. Indian officials say a ceasefire was violated by Pakistani forces. 4 civilians were killed in India. Yesterday, the Pakistani Prime Minister at a UN meeting called for an investigation.
Blinded and maimed thousands of Kashmiris, including children. These and other brutalities clearly constitute war crimes and violate the Geneva Conventions.
The Prime Minister accused India of not being interested in a peaceful resolution. A big breakthrough in health news today. Scientists have found an antibody that attacks 99% of HIV infection. The antibody built to attack 3 main parts of the virus that will make it harder for HIV to resist its effects. The work was done by the U.S. National Institute of Health and a pharmaceutical company. Human trials will start in 2018 to see if it can treat or prevent the infection. Regulators are denying Uber from operating in London. The company was refused its license to renew operations based on groups of public safety and security implications. In London, about 3.5 million passengers and 40,000 drivers are now restricted from using the app. Uber has 21 days to appeal. The company says it will use every legal means to fight the ban. The company is currently fighting similar regulation laws in Denmark. In business news, social media is buzzing about the iPhone 8 that was released today. We asked students what they thought about all the hype around Apple's newest product.
Honestly, I think it's a little more hyped up than it should be. Everyone is saying that if you have the iPhone 7, then it's not really that great of an upgrade. But I don't have an iPhone 7 or an iPhone 6, so I'm actually interested in getting one.
They've added a lot more features with storage and all that stuff, and the hardware is better. I think it still has a little ways to go before it's up there with Android, but I think they're really doing a good job upgrading the features from the 7.
Maybe the new apps that they come out with, especially the photography, that's what I really like. So maybe that, it might be a plus side for me, but I don't know if I'll definitely get it.
I think it's made out of glass, so it's more brittle for me. So really I would prefer it to have been more all metal, like the ones before.
We're going to take a quick break. Still ahead, the latest in sports. But first, Sarah has a preview of your 3-day forecast.
Thanks, Keisha. It's officially the first day of fall, but it's still feeling like summer. Don't put away your shorts and tank tops just yet, because the weekend is going to be a hot one. Your 3-day forecast is coming up next.